Hello viewers, and in today's video we're looking at two watches that both date back to 2006. So about 17 years old. They're both Japanese watches. This on the left is a Grand Seiko spring drive, and on the right is a Casio. I actually don't know what it's called. I think this would be a twin display, maybe. Let me see. Yeah, I don't really know the name of this watch, but this watch had a 10-year battery. So I would have expected by 2016 this watch would have stopped working, but it didn't. It's 2023, the watch works fine. So a 17-year battery life, really quite amazing. This watch has seen a lot of usage. You can look by the strap that I put on it. Sometime, it's gone through a few straps that it's definitely seen its fair share of rough usage and travel around the world. Also, another watch that has traveled all the way around the world is my Grand Seiko Spring Drive. This in 2006 was one of the most cutting edge watches. Well, it still is the most cutting edge watch movement that there is. And to this day, after 17 years, watch it has been used, but it looks as good as it looked the day it came out of the factory. Well, I should say studio, because Grand Seiko watches are made in a studio, not really a factory. But this watch, I think in 2006 would have been maybe a $10 watch or a $15 watch. Don't quite remember. It was a fairly cheap watch. And the Grand Seiko, not so cheap. This was one of the most expensive Japanese watches you could buy in those days, and probably still is the most expensive Japanese watch that you can buy. But the point of this video is that it really doesn't matter what watch you have. And that's why I'm using two of these watches that both have seen regular use. A $10 watch and a watch that's thousands of dollars, it just doesn't matter. For me, when I travel, I sometimes carry this watch because, I like its dual time feature. So, if you're time in one zone, you can always figure out what the time in another zone is. Very useful watch when I travel. Especially this watch has seen so much abuse as it's gone all around the world that I'm never gonna let go of this watch. This watch is very special to me. And same goes for the Grand Seiko. This watch has seen a lot of use. It has also traveled all around the world, and it works just as fine. So it really doesn't matter how much money you spend on a watch or what the name of the watch is. What really matters is get a watch that you like and use it. It's the use part that is the single most important part of a watch. So if you look at my Grand Seiko, you can clearly see, this watch has been used. There's plenty of, dings around the bezel. You look at the bracelet. Sure enough, there's scratches. I can in fact remember some of these would be when it brushed against some concrete. Watches get used. I don't believe in keeping any watch in a safe. You look at this watch, you can see that the coating has kind of worn out, but obviously that paint will wear out. It has scratches, and I remember the strap started wearing out at the ends where it got used. I would sometimes use a lighted matchstick to tie in, to basically seal in the threads as they would come apart. and it just, as long as the watch works, it's perfect. Value for money, obviously the Casio. In fact, if you look at it carefully, it has a bit of a Rolex vibe to it in its numbers. But watches are not all about a number at the end of the day. You don't really look at the watch as an Excel spreadsheet. If you that's what you are looking at, just go get a stockbroking account. You'll make far more money with your time. Watches are also about emotion and what they do for you as an individual. And if that's what a watch is, just doesn't matter. Any watch is equally good. Anyway, that's it for today. Hope you haven't made a video in a while, so hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you on a later video.